up that TV producer and provider, and I'm going to ask them what it costs to run a commercial that way. And here's the key. They'll give you a cost, and then you can go to what we call media brokers. And a media broker can sometimes negotiate a better TV ad for you and sometimes even cut the time in half. Because here's my theory. If they're running that same commercial over and over and over and over again, you think they're paying that money because it works? Absolutely. So you may not have that same budget, but yet you could probably get a smaller ad ran on a smaller cost basis and maybe run it once a month and still see if it's generating, especially for you being in the luxury home business, Steve, that's huge for you, because that's a different way of approaching that. So these are some things you want to look at. And how are they structuring their deals? This is really big because you're looking for a niche. If all your competition is only doing wholesale deals, and you come into town as a lease option provider, you're the only game in town at that level, right? And that's something that you have to think about, because and knowing your competition is by far one of the biggest things that you're going to want to do when you start creating a marketing plan, all right? What services do they offer sellers outside of just buying houses? Are they in the debt resolution business? How many of you met my good friend Scott over here? Yeah? If you haven't met him, I highly encourage you to meet him. We'll have him talk a little bit tomorrow. We do a lot of business with Scott because Scott helps our students in more ways than you even know on the real estate side. He helps them with different programs, and he's an absolute asset to have on your team, okay? So Scott, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
You see he's front row, right? So, and what's that? Does Scott have a last name? Yeah, Scott, tell him who you are.
Last name is Strub. This is the $1 million team
Scott Stroh. So you guys just, if you have some time, just grab him, talk to him, see how he can help you. Because here's the idea. When you go to your student base or you go to your future clients, I say student base, I'm sorry. When you go to your future clients, do you think they just need to sell a house? Probably not. They need to sell a house. They may need some debt resolution. They may need some credit repair. There's a lot of things they need. And you need to be able to step in and say, listen, I'm not just going to buy your house, but I'm going to help you get out of this in a better situation. When we were in the business of short sales, we always made anybody that came to us for short sales had to sign an agreement that they would at least go see 3 credit repair companies before we would take them on as a client. Why? Because we want them to know, don't just short sell your house, try to get some help so you can get out of this at a later date, okay? We wanted them to be in a better position than when we found them. The other thing we did is when we do lease options with people, we won't even let them in the house or even sign the contract unless they sign our addendum that says within 6 months, they have to start credit repair with us. Not with us, but with some service, so that we know that they're going to be in a position to buy that house at a later date. We're not in the model where people say, oh, stick them in, and when they don't pay, kick them out and bring another one in. Guys, I think karma is real. I don't want to meet her neither. So you got to be able to play this ball game right. I mean, are you guys getting that? Yeah, listen, you're going to touch a lot of people along the way. And it's not how you touch them, but it's how you leave them that matters, okay? So basic marketing foundation. Marketing foundation is this: picking your business name, tell them who you are, getting a great website name, picking the logo and scheme and promotional materials. It's important. Do you think that's a pretty memorable logo? Do you think I do a lot of branding? Yeah, every slide you see will have a brand on it, right? First thing you guys come in this morning, I'm branding. All of our stuff is branded. Branding, I'm telling you right now, branding is the absolute key to the success of your business. If you're just Zack Childress real estate investor, to be honest with you, who cares about Zack Childress real estate investor? Who cares? Edgar, I know you care. But what people do care about is if you are an organization, if you're a company, and you have a professional appeal to yourself. That's what